They took every game on this list and they put it in their 50. Hello, friends. What are the top 50 video games of all time? Well, Rolling Stones decided to answer that question. I have not looked at this list. I want to look at it for the first time with you guys because you know I love these. I live for these. These bigger corporations, places like Rolling Stones, you know, these large outlets, New York Times, putting together best video games because they're not really gaming-centric outlets. So sometimes they just throw wild things at the wall to see what sticks. However, Rolling Stones, I think they've been pretty good in the past when they've put together lists that involve gaming. I think that they're pretty in touch with it. So I'm honestly not even trolling. I'm not expecting to be too shocked by this, but I'm very curious to see what they picked. Well, for all the top 50, let alone the number one. So let's react to the 50 greatest video games of all time by Rolling Stones. Number 50 is Animal Crossing New Horizons. We have a long way to go. I can't judge this at all. You know, 50, it definitely belongs in the top 50. It's one of the best-selling video games of all time. Definitely one of the most beloved. It made the pandemic tolerable. So for that, it definitely deserves to be on the list. I might have put it a little higher, but again, we've got to scroll down. It's going to be interesting to see what they put ahead of this one. Hades coming in at 49. Now, we have a lot to get through, so some of these I'm going to have to breeze past, but Hades is definitely, probably, actually, yeah, I'd say my favorite indie game of all time, and definitely one of my favorite video games. I would, again, put this higher, but that's only because I haven't seen the rest. This is what I always do. I'm always like, Hades has to be in the top 10 games of all time, right? And then I start thinking about things like Ocarina of Time, Last of Us, Red Dead Redemption 2, you know, and suddenly that top 10 starts to fill up pretty quickly. And maybe I don't have room for Hades, but it's up there. Oh, Rolling Stone. All right. You know what? All right. I like this list so far. I just like seeing these games represented. You know, Castlevania Symphony of the Night from 1997. One of, if not the greatest Metroidvania of all time. I mean, well, funny calling it that. For those that don't know, which is probably barely any people, the term Metroidvania comes from this game and Metroid games. Metroid, Castlevania. The Castlevania in question was Symphony of the Night. And it kickstarted a huge genre of video games. We have games like Hollow Knight now because of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Wow, great pick. I don't know why, but for a second when I saw this, I thought it was the CDI game. I thought it was Zelda Wonder Gamelon, and I was about to laugh my way out of my own building. No, A Link to the Past. Yeah, again, incredible choice. In my brain, that's higher, but again, I might be wrong. We'll see what's coming. I don't know if I said, by the way, but this is I think this article came out today. This is brand new. No. The more I think about it, the more this one is a nope. No. Rolling Stone, I was singing your good graces there for a minute. You were on fire. Look, nothing against League of Legends. Millions of people love this game, but has it done more for gaming than Link to the Past? Is it a better game than Animal Crossing or Hades? No. In fact, for a MOBA, I dare say Dota 2 is a much better MOBA. That's a personal preference. I honestly believe it. League of Legends is great. It's user-friendly. I guess in a way, League of Legends inspired a lot of these hero-based games we have. Hero shooters like Overwatch and recent Marvel rivals that I actually love, they're all kind of like spin-offs, borrowing ideas from games like League of Legends, and League of Legends made MOBAs popular. I mean, Dota kind of did, but then League of Legends really did. I don't know. I don't like seeing a free-to-play MOBA above these. I don't know. No! Okay. It's just biased. And this is fine. I hate seeing Fortnite placed above Link to the Past. You have to understand, hurts me deep inside my soul. But if I can play devil's advocate for the people that are also upset with me, Fortnite is massive. Fortnite's huge, and it's done things in gaming that no other game might even come close to. I don't know. It's crazy. The things that Fortnite has managed to do and how widespread that game is, how popular it is, you have to acknowledge at some point that this has shaped the gaming industry for better or worse, but people love it, so that's why it's happened. I will give Fortnite its flowers. I think out of greatest video games of all time, just due to its sheer popularity and the incredible things they've done in and around Fortnite, it deserves a spot on this list. I don't think it's a better game than something like Link to the Past at all, but has it made a bigger impact at this point? Probably. Yeah. To be fair, I'll play devil's advocate. Whoa, Elden Ring being so low on the list is crazy. Definitely deserving of a spot. Didn't expect to see it this far down, but I'm glad we're back on track. I'm glad we're back on track with great 10 out of 10 quality games. Whoa! So, okay, I will always give props to somebody who will put these indie gem games above experiences like Elden Ring, because my God, yeah, perfect game, brilliant game, gorgeous game. Yeah, deserves a spot for sure. This is wild. No, great game. Arkham City, man, what a time to be a gamer, huh? I'm not even kidding. 360 era, we were getting games left and right. These amazing quality. This was like the last generation before I feel like gaming companies stopped taking risks, and before everything became microtransaction heavy and how can we min-max a player's monetary experience. And this was just back when people were really focused on making a great game that they would sell for $60, you know? And Batman Arkham City crushed it. Such a great game. Great story that sits with you for years to come. I don't know. Great game. Definitely deserves a spot. Metroid Prime. We're not even at 40. We've only done 9 of these. Yeah. All right. This list, it's taken me through some waves, but I'm here for it still. I'm still appreciating it. The original Metroid Prime, one of the best FPSs of all time, and it's insane that it's one of Nintendo's only. In fact, it is really Nintendo's only FPS series that's barely been shown any love over the years, that has what is regarded as one of the best FPSs of all time in it. Nintendo are so strange with how they, I don't want to say fumble, but fumble certain concepts, ideas, properties that they have. I just don't understand it. And to be fair, I'm glad Nintendo's not a company that milks their properties. Like, I'm glad Metroid's not being milked or hasn't been milked over the years based on its success to a level of something like Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty. But at the same time, I think there's a middle ground between milking something and then leaving it to rot when it deserves so much more. I'm saying that all on the back of finally getting a new one, and I understand that. But man, it's been so long, huh? Chrono Trigger, we're all over the place, and I'm okay with it. Chrono Trigger, yeah, definitely one of the best JRPGs of all time. God of War 2018, wow. Some of these games, man, being so high up this list, or low down this list, I guess I should say. I just would expect this to be higher. I wonder if Ragnarok's in the list and it's higher. That would upset me because I actually like the first one a lot more. Glad to see it has a spot. Those are 2 heavy ones back to back. We are so on track. I want to say again, I don't want to... Fortnite and League of Legends are sitting rent-free in my head right now on this list, because it's almost like the person putting this together has come at this list from almost two avenues. Because on one way, you have these incredible single-player blockbuster experiences that can never be replicated and that are the greatest gaming video games that we've ever had. And then something like Fortnite and League of Legends, which aren't really that level at all from a video game quality experience, but it's what they've done to the gaming industry that I think has given them a list or a point on this list. And they feel out of place for that reason. It's like, are you putting this list together based on these absolutely incredible experiences, paying homage to games like Arkham City, or are we talking about something that, you know, has Snoop Dogg in it and has done like an Eminem concert inside the game? And like, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm just being overly critical of this. Gold and silver. I so wonder if other Pokemon games are coming up. Gold and Silver might be the best ones out of the old originals, so this might be the only Pokemon on the slot. I'm not sure. Super Smash Ultimate. I love that they picked Ultimate. Again, unless there's more coming. But Ultimate's... Sakurai meant it when he said Ultimate. It is literally Ultimate. I think it's by and far the best Super Smash Brothers, from the way it feels, the way it plays, having every character from all the games in it plus more. This is Nintendo doing the opposite of what I said earlier with Metroid and really showing love to the thing that they have that is top shelf quality. I can't imagine a better Smash Brothers. I don't. They perfected it. They did so good. I don't know where you go from here other than reinventing the series. Oh, weird one. No, not really. Sonic Hedgehog 2. People love this game. A lot of nostalgia for it. I am not a Sonic fan, but I will not deny the love people have for this game and how big Sonic is as a franchise. We just got the Sonic 3 movie. I do not like this game, but apparently it is the best one. A lot of people love the second one. I'm okay with it being there. And then there is Hollow Knight. As I was saying earlier, I'm not surprised this is here at all. I'm not surprised at all. NBA 2. I started reading that before my brain acknowledged what I was reading. What? Am I missing something? Is NBA 2K11 really good? The series continues to release, and many fans consider the 2010 edition of the game to be its pinnacle, arriving at a time before endless microtransactions watered down the experience and featured some of the strongest team mechanics and ball movements. Okay, I mean, all right, so it was the last good one before it went microtransaction heavy, which, again, this is what I mean by that Xbox 360 era. It's exactly what I was saying earlier with Arkham City. It was just the cut. It was the last time I think gaming... I don't know if I want to say this, but what I was about to say is the last time gaming was really great. Make gaming great again. Am I right, guys? No, it was like it was the change of an era. It was the last time that video games were pure. I mean that honestly. That the gaming industry as a whole was pure. Or at least pure is a very tough word, because I'm sure there were a lot of issues in the gaming industry back then, but it was before a lot of these, like, before people would really go into crunch to meet all these crazy high budgets video games have these days, and shoveling things out before they were ready to meet budgets and marketing and windows and microtransactions. And it was really just at an era where video games were made to be fun and sold for one price. And for that reason, I guess I can see why they would want to put love on this. But end of the day, I got to be honest, it's a basketball game. I don't know if it really deserved a spot on this list, but you can let me know down below if I'm wrong for that. I'm sure there were like soccer games and golf games and all kinds of games from this era that were the final one before microtransactions. I don't know if that necessarily means that nostalgically they should get a spot on the list, but maybe I'm wrong. Immediately following Miss Pac-Man. Sorry, I just got really thirsty all of a sudden. Sorry about that. I mean, sure. Miss Pac-Man, revolutionary for its time. God, I could go down a whole history lesson about Pac-Man and even Mrs. Pac-Man and how Miss Pac-Man came to be. It was like fan-made or something at the time. Crazy. All right. Yeah, no, okay. Yeah, no, okay. I mean, Counter-Strike 1999. I mean, Counter-Strike released, this is crazy to think about, 1999. And you look at the legacy it's left with the kind of games we play now. I mean, Valorant still one of the largest games right now, one of the largest esport games, and that's built purely off the back of Counter-Strike. It's, as I was giving props to League of Legends earlier, and everything League of Legends has done for the gaming industry, and well, Dota really started it, but that idea of a hero-based game where every hero has these crazy abilities, that merged with Counter-Strike is what Valorant is. Borrowing both of those elements and putting it into one. Same with Metroidvanias. Doing that with Metroid and Castlevania. That's how we have games like Valorant. And to an extent, it's how we have games like Overwatch and Marvel Rivals. And it all started with Counter-Strike. So I'm okay with giving them credit here. I mean, also, Counter-Strike, at its time, landing that game, I'd put it a little lower on this list up here, but I don't think it doesn't deserve a spot. I'm liking this list, though. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of different areas they're pulling games from, and I'm seeing the vision behind why they're pulling certain games, and I appreciate the list. I honestly do. I'm not upset with it at all. Wii Sports. Yeah, I mean, you can't not. Crazy. You know, you think about all the games we've already talked about, and this one was free. Free. It was a pack-in game, and it's considered one of the best games of all time. You can't beat that value. Nintendo, when they do things right, they really do things right. For one of the top 50 games of all time, in this person's opinion or Rolling Stone's opinion, but in a lot of people's opinion, to be a free pack-in game that is quite simply just a few sport titles. It just goes to show that at its core, how fun Nintendo can make anything. Oh, God. This is almost like, as I read some of these, it's making me nostalgic and also just making me wish I had time today to replay some of these classics. You know, I'm not super for games getting remade. I'm not really about it. But Naughty Dog, while we're remaking every game that you have, even ones you released 6 months ago, we could remake Uncharted 2. I would replay Uncharted 2 in a remake. I honestly would. I would go back and play it as it is now. It definitely holds up. That game was awesome. I remember playing Uncharted 1 and not really, like, it was fine. But then Uncharted 2, oh my God. They took it next level. Wow. Yeah, it definitely deserves. I wonder if there'll be any more Uncharteds. I do wonder if they played it close to the chest and put like one game from a series in the list, or because really, when at the point where you have God of War and Uncharted 2, you could do Ragnarok and Uncharted 3, you know? Although 2 was better than 3, I think. Minecraft, yeah, no, I mean, that definitely deserves a spot. I still loaded up Minecraft a couple weeks back just to mess around, start a new game, explore. If you haven't played Minecraft because you think it looks like a kid's game, I hate to tell you, it's deceptively fun. It's deceptively awesome. There's nothing quite like it. I never thought I would like Minecraft. I put off playing it for literally years, and then when I did, I was like, oh, I get it. God, I gotta speed this up, huh? Taking too long. I have so much to say about all of them. I mean, Resident Evil 4. How do I not gush about this? Okay, I don't have time. I'm taking too long. Yeah, I mean, we don't even need to. One of the most ported games of all time. Great game. I can't blast through this list. This list is actually sick. Mass Effect 2. My God. I never played Mass Effect 1 back in the day. And I remember Mass Effect 3 had just came out. This is come with me on a journey. And all my friends were picking it up because they all wanted to play it. And I usually played everything my friends played. We had a really like tight circle. And I didn't get Mass Effect. I had no interest in it. And they were all playing 3. And I was like, fine, I want to play this, but I don't want to play 3. Because I knew that all the decisions from 2 carried over, and I think that at the time is what convinced me. I had no interest in the game, but I loved the concept of everything I played in one game would carry over to the next game, all my story decisions. I thought that was like such a sick hook. So I decided, screw it, and the day the 3rd one came out and they were all playing it, I went and picked up the 2nd one from EB Games and started that, and oh my god, loved it. Played through it, adore it. One of my favorite games of all time. Instantly hooked in the world and the characters and the gameplay, and then instantly moved into 3, and I loved them both. I didn't even really get too upset about the ending everyone hated. Oh my god, yes. Could be higher. Stardew Valley, one of my favorite games of all time, could be higher. Kim and I are currently on a new playthrough that we're like 70 hours in. We started a couple months ago. God, there's too much to say about Stardew. I don't even understand how that game is so good. I don't understand how one guy made that game. There is so much content in it. Holy moly. Wow, that's from one of Kim's favorite games to another. The Sims, specifically the first one, I would probably go Sims 2, if not Sims 3, but we love Sims. Oh man, I played this first one so much back in the day. It's like I could sit here for 2 hours and you could tell me to put together a top 50 list, and I would forget so many of these games and be so annoyed that I didn't think of them. Off the top of my head, that is. Tony Hawk. Again, I'm not going Pro Skater 1, but we'll take it. I'm going 2. I'm going Tony Hawk 2. The soundtrack is better. Graphics were a lot better. The gameplay was tight. The second one's where it's at, in my opinion. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. I'm fine with it. I never played Call of Duties back in the day. I'm not sure what the best one is. Maybe it's this one. This is that 360 era, though, where a lot of even Call of Duty games were actually really great. It's so funny now, especially if you're new into gaming or you're a younger gamer, thinking about any Call of Duty game being the best game of all time. But there's a reason why people love this series, and it's because it used to be really good. And that was probably one of the best ones. Fallout 3. Now, yeah, okay. I never played 3, and I also never played New Vegas. I'm a Fallout 4 guy. I really love Fallout 4. A lot of people didn't like the story or writing. I don't really have the old games to compare it to. I'm sure the writing was better, but I really enjoyed the gameplay loop of 4. Fallout being on the list, though, makes a lot of sense. Holy moly. We're in the top 20 now, folks. Oh, I love video games. The more I look, see this list, this is a good list. Because it's making me so nostalgic, while at the same time making me want to replay so many games and just appreciating video games as a whole. Look at the different genres, the different art styles, the different types of games that we've spanned in this list already, just in 30 games. Mario Kart 64. I don't even know what memory to pull from this one. I have so many. Playing it in youth group in church. Or in like, you know when you go to church and you get tossed off into the... I don't go to church anymore. I used to be made to go to church when I was a kid. But you'd get tossed into like the kid group while everyone else was doing like the adult stuff. We would just play Mario Kart, and I remember that being awesome. That's just one of my many memories of Mario Kart. Wow, is this the most recent entry to the list? Baldur's Gate 3 coming in the top 20, and I would have to agree. Yeah, for D&D fans specifically, this is D&D come to life, and it was one of my favorite experiences in that year. One of my top 2, actually, with Tears of the Kingdom, which I'm kind of hoping is coming up. No. Why? I'm sorry. I'm just not a sports guy, and I will never understand sport games. I just can't. They don't compute with me. I don't know why. Diablo 2, I'm also not a Diablo guy, but I won't not acknowledge its spot on this list. People love Diablo 2. And Diablo was another one of those games that started a genre, that just blew up a genre, and now it's one of the most popular. Yeah, here it is. So this would be in my personal top 10. I'm a sucker for Red Dead Redemption, everything about it. I really felt like Rockstar. I don't know where to begin. I feel like even now, that game was 2018. I feel like that is still, it feels like a next-gen experience when you play it. It's quality, even just the level of animations, like getting a gun out of your horse's like satchel that it has on its back, the way that you see all of it happen in real time with these fluid and these clean animations and these rich, deep sound effects, that every little element to the game felt real, felt weighted. Walking into a store and picking up an item off the shelf and buying it. Again, there are games now that still don't, all games don't do that. That was only Red Dead. You go into any video game store, in-game store, and buy something, it's menu screens and pop-ups. Every level of Red Dead was so immersive. And the story was fantastic. I honestly think that's, even right now, not only one of the greatest video games of all time, but a true next-gen experience hidden amongst the current gen, if not the last gen of games. Untouchable until GTA 6 comes out. I got 15 minutes before I have to go to a meeting, and I have 15 games left. I don't know how I'm going to do this and be on time. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, yes! Again, one of my favorite games of all time. Just a few years before Red Dead 2, which is actually crazy to think about, that these games were so close together, because I feel like this game's way older at this point. I can't believe it's been 10 years since this game. It still holds up. I personally love this game more than Skyrim, even though I feel like Skyrim's coming up on this list. This was my Skyrim. I never really got into Skyrim. This was mine. I love this game. I think it's a perfect game, if not damn near perfect. And I think it's almost tied with Red Dead 2 for me for how much I enjoy it. God, that's a great game. Nope. Sorry, that was a visceral reaction. Just, I don't know if it belongs below some of these other games, but it's another one of those. I can see what they're thinking, what it did for the genre. Street Fighter 2, yeah, I mean, fighting games now, like these 2D plane fighting games, are based off this game, you know? To this day. Original Doom. It's another one. Same thing. FPS games to this day, we owe Doom for all of it. Is it the best one? No. I mean, the recent Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, I think are much better than this. The new Doom coming will be better again still. But for what it did for gaming, sure. Greatest games of all time, sure. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Yep. Not a personal favorite of mine. I don't like MMOs really. I can't really get any to stick. I've never played World of Warcraft, to be fair. Never played it. I wouldn't even know where to begin. That's just one of those like giant gaps. People sometimes, I do meet people when I tell them I'm a gamer and they're like, oh, I play World of Warcraft, and I'm like, no. They look at me like, well, then you're lying, right? You're not, who hasn't played World of Warcraft? I don't know. I just never cared for MMOs. Growing up, I was always very much, I wanted single-player adventure games is what I wanted. Not like, I don't know, grinding MMO kind of game. Was never for me. But again, what it's done for gaming and MMOs as a genre, I get it. Wow. I'm a broken record, I know, but similar to Doom and some of those other games, not the best one. I mean, you're looking at Halo 3. I mean, I would even say Halo Reach. I really liked Halo Reach, but I'd probably go Halo 3 personally. But for evolving combat, I mean, the name is on the nose. While Doom may have inspired FPSs and launched a genre, and Halo wouldn't have happened without Doom, Halo took the genre and turned it on its head and showed people what an FPS could be. And We've been building off of Halo Combat Evolved ever since. Even Halo themselves are trying to replicate what they've done before and not able to, you know? Whoa. I'm actually shocked that Castlevania Symphony of the Night was like 48 and Super Metroid is like 10. That seems like these should go one after another wherever you put them on a list. Incredible game. It's the same thing we talked about with Castlevania, with Hollow Knight. I'm a little surprised this is so high based on Hollow Knight and Castlevania being so far back there, but great game. Yeah, there's Skyrim. I knew it was coming. We're in the top 10 as well, by the way. So this is this person's top 10 games of all time. And again, that's why I think Metroid being in it is crazy considering the rest of the list, how it's shaped out. Also, this looks like a peepee. I just noticed that. This looks like a peepee, and this also kind of looks like a peepee. Yes, I am a 34-year-old man seeing peepees everywhere I look. Yeah, Skyrim's no surprise. I could never make Skyrim stick personally, but you talk to 10 gamers and 9 of them will tell you that Skyrim is their favorite game. So, yeah, top 10 of all time, I agree with it. It's just not personally for me. Whoa. Final Fantasy VII, the original. Yeah, no, I'm actually, now I'm thinking about it. We haven't seen it yet, so of course it was going to be up here. I really enjoyed the remake, and I think Rebirth is one of my favorite games I've ever played. But obviously, they're all based off the original, and the original was fantastic. Is it the best RPG of all time? It's up there. It's definitely up there. It's so funny looking back now and seeing these gorgeous, like, post-rendered or pre-rendered or whatever they're called graphics next to these blocky Nickelodeon SpongeBob graphics. Like, it is so jarring. It looked so nice back in the day. Now, I mean, it still looks, the pre-rendered looks nice still. That's held up really well, but it's just so jarring. It's crazy how well that pre-rendered holds up though, huh? Like, this is what graphics actually looked like back then, but utilizing these pre-renders, this looks like it could be an indie game that came out this year, you know? Like, it looks great. Looks fantastic. Oh, I can't believe I didn't even notice or realize there's been no Metal Gear yet. Again, I don't know if I'm going with one. Twin Snakes? Yeah, probably. This list is definitely going for the originals in all of these series. Maybe they're just like in their head, they're like, we're going to put Metal Gear 1 and that's just going to count for Metal Gear. Metal Gear 2, 3, 5. It's going to count for all the Metal Gears. Oh, God. I was thinking Half-Life earlier and I didn't say it. But yeah, Half-Life 2. I never played this in its time. I tried playing it like 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And it aged pretty quickly, but at the same time, it was really good. I liked it. It's just, I think if I had played it in its time, it would have blown me away. Playing it 15 years later, it was more like, this is good. This is a good game, you know? But by that point, I'd played so many incredible games. I soured the experience for myself. But for its time, Half-Life 2 was groundbreaking. There it is. That's in my top 5. That's definitely in my personal top 5. This is a good list because we're in the top 5. This is in my top 5. Last of Us 2013. I adore this game. I think it's a perfect game. I honestly do. I don't really know what else in its time in 2013. There's nothing else they could have done. That game was perfect from its story to its characters to its acting to its animation to its gameplay. Every single element was done perfectly. The story it told was one of the greatest stories ever. Not even in video gaming. It also made for a great TV show, as we saw. Yeah, I don't know. Fantastic. I don't want to go on a tangent, but I don't know how it went so wrong with Last of Us 2. Oh my God. Anyway. Whoa! Not in my top 5. But in Kim's top 5. Might even be Kim's number 1. Super Mario World, famously, for those that remember, this was the first thing Kim and I ever talked about. This was our first conversation back in the day. So it holds a very special place in my heart, and I know it's one of Kim's favorite games, if not her actual favorite game. Although nowadays she might tell you Stardew. But yeah, definitely I'll put it in top 5 for Kim. Whoa, yep. Not in my personal top 5, but I think in a grand scheme of greatest games of all time, has to be there. Has to be there. I actually would almost put Skyrim up here too for greatest games of all time, even though I haven't played it or really enjoyed it. It's Skyrim, you know what I mean? And it's GTA 5. Definitely deserves a spot. Kind of sad we didn't see any Saints Row games. I kind of like Saints Row, but I get it. In the top 2, all right, this is officially solidifying what this list is. This list is literally the greatest games of all time that have made the biggest impact in gaming. That's what this list is. Because is Tetris a number 2 game over some other experiences here, like GTA 5? I mean, like, you're kidding. It's Tetris. But for what it's done for gaming, absolutely revolutionary. Everyone's played it. Think about that. I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone who hasn't played Tetris. All right, I'm very nervous to see number 1. I honestly have no idea what it is. Let me try and think. Is it Ocarina of Time? It has to be, right? I mean, unless they considered Link to the Past the Zelda on this list, what else is a 10 out of 10 game? I really want to guess it, because this list so far has been a mix of like the actual greatest games, like as far as quality and experience, but also for what these individual games have done for gaming. So it could be either way. It could be like a 10 out of 10 game like Ocarina of Time, even though we've already had a Zelda, or it could be something like Tetris, you know, one of these old games that did a lot for gaming. Do I lock in Ocarina? I feel like Link to the Past. I can't get my head off Ocarina. Can I do a little cheat? Oh, it could be Tears of the Kingdom. I doubt it, though. I doubt they would put a game so new, so high. What haven't they done? I'm just thinking Ocarina. Knights of the Old Republic didn't make the list. A lot of these, funny that the Google brought up pretty much. Wait a second. Wait a second. This is every game that was on the list. You don't think that there's 2 possibilities here. There's 3. One possibility is Google results are pulling from this article right now. Could be a possibility. I don't know if it works that way. The other possibility is Rolling Stones Googled best games of all time and then just took these and sporadically placed them around the list, which could explain why there was League of Legends in the list and Fortnite. It's one of those 2 for sure. The only other possibility is the third possibility is the top 50 games of all time are so obvious that both Rolling Stones and Google think the same way. I highly doubt that. One of these 2 things are true. One, Google's results are pulling from this article because the article just came out, or this article Googled best games of all time, ripped all of these, and then placed them sporadically on a list in whatever order they wanted. Because this is every game that's in the list. Like I just opened Metacritic's best games of all time, and we've got like Soul Calibur, Mario Galaxy, Perfect Dark, like a lot of games that are rated the best of all time and didn't make Rolling Stone's list. So what are the odds that the Google result is the same result as this list exactly, and Rolling Stones didn't add like the number 2 high-rated Metascore game, Soul Calibur? No, I cracked it. I just figured out what they did. Rolling Stones just Googled best games of all time and then placed them randomly on a list of 50 with just a little blurb about the game. Like a little Googled blurb about the game. In that case, We can probably guess the number one based on this list, right? Because we haven't had Breath of the Wild show up or Ocarina. There's Link to the Past. So I bet, based on what's left on this list, it's Breath of the Wild or Ocarina. What? No way! That's hilarious! Dude! No shot! I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I just so happened to quickly Google the same thing they did, and I actually got the answer. Rolling Stones, I caught you red-handed. I caught you red-handed. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, right? I just figured this article would be, like, carefully curated by, like, people that work there, that, like, it was their favorites or what they deem to be their favorite. Not just a quick Google search that they could have honestly just used AI. I mean, they've listed names on each one of these little blurbs. So they've parted it out to a team of people, and they've been like, hey, you take these 10 games, you take these 10 games, and come up with blurbs. But honestly, these could just be AI. AI checker. Human, mixed, 4% AI, probably. 4% probability? No, I think what they've done is they've, to their credit at least, taken a Google result, but then they have actually come up with their own blurb and research based on the game, which is fair. That's at least a little bit of work that they put in. Just so funny. So funny. Because if you actually look at Metacritic's or just this random list of top games of all time, I mean, yeah, I mean, they're missing games like BioShock, Tekken 3, Soul Calibur, like a lot of just like variation outside of a Google result. Now, there is still the chance that Google pulled from this article. There is still that chance. I don't know. I think I have a way of asking. It just says from sources across the web. So there is still that chance that Google pulled from that article. Anyway, sorry, that's so funny. Let me know what you guys think. I think either way, this was a really solid list and a lot of fun to look through this video. No shade to Rolling Stone. I really enjoyed making this. Let me know your thoughts down below. Like, comment, and hair flip. And let me know what games were missed. What was your favorite game? I can't believe Ocarina wasn't on here, honestly. But here's the thing, guys. If this list did pull from the article, here's the thing. It is actually missing Ocarina. Here's the thing. I was about to be done, but here's the thing. Where did Ocarina come from in Google results? If they pulled from this list, why did they add Ocarina on their own? Or is it that Rolling Stones didn't want to put 3 Zelda games in the list, so they removed Ocarina from the Google search results? Because otherwise, why Ocarina? It's the only outlier. It's the only one in here that didn't make it onto the list. How many are here? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 times 3 is 51. 51! 51! So Rolling Stones Googled best games of all time. It brought up 51 results. They said, hey, let's just make it 50. What one do we cut out? Well, there's 3 Zelda games. We can't really do 3 games. Let's cut out one of the Zeldas. And they cut out Ocarina. Other than that, they took every game on this list and they put it in their 50. That's the proof that it's not the other way around, because Ocarina didn't make it into the list. So Rolling Stones copied Google. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry. Love you guys. I'll see you next time.